Welcome back to another episode of Debt Collection 101 on Arbeit U.
Yeah, we have a very special episode. We have not only ripped from the headlines, but ripped from our own home. We are joined today by our very own marketing manager, Joe.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Papa Joe, as we call him.
Papa Joe.
Yeah.
You might have recognized it from our Christmas tree video. But interestingly enough, something happened to Joe recently where he received a phone call from a collection agency. You want to tell the folks at home what happened?
Yeah, so right before Christmas, I had a call from a debt collection agency, and they said I owed $4,300 to Verizon. And they said that I apparently opened up an account and I need to pay them money. So naturally, I got freaked out, and I just asked for some basic information because I told them that was fraudulently taken, and that's not my account. So
Which I'm sure you've never heard before.
Yeah. So basically what I did was they gave me the information for Verizon's number. I was able to call Verizon. I went down to their store. They were able to look up my account information. And then they said I needed to file an official police report. So I went ahead and did that. And about 4 or 5 days later, they said that I was free of everything and then I shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. And that was the end of it.
So, which obviously got us thinking, how often does that actually happen, right?
Well, it's actually the top complaints that the CFPB gets. Consumers saying that the debt isn't theirs, it was paid, something like that. It's the top complaint. So it happens all the time.
Happens all the time is the answer to that question.
Yes.
So how do you know when people are telling the truth and when they're not, right? So there's a couple of warning signs. Like in Joe's scenario, the first mistake Joe made, obviously, was not getting that collection agency to use Arbeit Click, right?
I'd say so, yeah. I you know what, I'll be honest with you, I was too scared. I was like, oh my god, I owe this amount of money.
I owe $5,000.
The last thing I want to do is some sort of sales pitch.
Did they call you with an auto dialer?
I have no idea. I just picked up the phone and just...
Couldn't be.
There it was,
TCPA violation.
There you go. But after Joe asked, they were unable to produce any documentation that Joe actually took on this loan, right? You called them and they couldn't actually prove that you took out that loan. So that was a big warning flag for the actual collection agency that they couldn't prove this. They have normally a paper trail stating this happened, this happened, this happened, and they didn't have that in Joe's case.
He had to go back to Verizon, if
Correct.
I'm not mistaken, and request that from them, and they...
Yeah, so like when I went back to Verizon, and they even had a hard time trying to figure out where this paper trail came from. They're like, your account's not in there. They used a lot of different information that I gave to them, and they after like about 45 minutes, they finally found one thing out of it, and they said that this person had opened up my account in July and bought 5 iPhone 7s, which, first off, that's definitely not me because I'm not an iPhone guy. I'm a Samsung Galaxy guy.
Very important.
Did they have your social?
They had my social security number. That's what they end up using. I don't know how they got it, but that's exactly what they used in order to get it. And
What is your social?
really?
Yeah. What are other red flags you got here?
So some other red flags.
I mean, as a collector, I think you get this...
Yeah, you're going to get this call more often.
You get this
than
all
not.
the time, and it's very easy to just be like, oh, this person's lying.
Yeah, the number
Right.
one red flag is the
But-
inability to obtain underlying documents in response to a dispute.
Okay. Yeah.
Number one red flag.
I guess the moral of the story is, one, collection agency, make sure you have easy access to documents for the debt that you're collecting on, right?
Yeah.
You need to be able to have access to that, or at least have an avenue to request that from whoever you're collecting on the debt from and get that easily, because if you have somebody like Joe disputing this, you want to be able to get those documents as quickly as possible. And then, B, not all the consumers are lying.
Yeah, right? Some of it's true. And
Yeah.
that's another red flag is like if you look at your portfolio and there's a large percentage of that portfolio that claim this, right? Like obviously, unless you're like, if in this case we might be buying direct from Verizon, but if you own a portfolio and let's say a large percentage of it claims to be, fraudulent debt, that's a warning sign, right? Like maybe there's something wrong there.
Yeah, so I would be careful. You should probably research into that file before you continue to push it.
Correct.
On your floor. You're just going to end up getting yourself a lawsuit because it's, that's your responsibility, right, as an agency. I would think that's what the consumer attorney is going to say at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the record, I mean, they were actually really cool. I mean, they were very nice to me.
Too late that you already missed your chance to sell them on Click.
Yeah, but no, they were pretty cool. They were really nice about it, and I mean, they tried to get all the information, and they just couldn't find it, and it was like there was something there, but they didn't give me a hard time, and I think that's a really big thing, for debt collection agencies to understand, and that if they do things like that, we're more, as a consumer, and we're more than willing to cooperate, and in this case, they did that, and I was more than willing to work with them and figure everything out, and got it all taken care of.
Right.
So Papa Joe or Deadbeat Joe, up to you.
There you go.
But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and other tips, feel free to like and subscribe below.
See you next week.
See you next week.